What's up, guys? You know I said I had to talk about it. The Toronto Raptors are really struggling this year. They started off this season so far 1-5, losing games to the Celtics, the Pelicans, the Sixers, the Spurs, and the Pelicans again, and they have one win against the New York Knicks 100-83. Now, I felt the need to talk about this team because this team made the finals 2 years ago, had a playoff run last year into the second round, and they're starting off this season 1-5, bottom of the league, bottom of their division, and it's just completely surprising, and we just really need to talk about it because this team clearly needs to figure something out. Starting off with their loss against the Pelicans, they lost that game 113-99 in their first game. In the second game that they played, they lost against the Spurs 119-114. They lost to the Sixers 100-93. Their first win and only win of the season was against the Knicks. They won that game 100-83. Then they lost against the Pelicans again 120-116. And they were blown out by the Celtics 126-114, where Jason Tatum scored 40 on them. Now, this team is really struggling in one department, and that's offensive firepower. Now I need to get into player specifics, and the player I really want to talk about is Pascal Siakam. He is really struggling this year so far. He is averaging a total of 17.6 points per game, 7.4 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.6 blocks, and his PER is only at 11. He was the scoring leader for the Raptors last season. During the regular season, he was averaging 22.9 points per game. And this year, that title belongs to Fred VanVleet, who is averaging 21.8 points per game. Now, he's still the rebounding leader for the team, but he's clearly lacking in offensive firepower this year so far. And this whole team is lacking in offensive firepower so far. Fred VanVleet is their leading scorer, like I said, with 21.8 points per game. Kyle Lowry is second, 18.7. Pascal Siakam, like I said, 17.6. And then it drops down to 12.7 from Chris Boucher, 11.7 from OG Anunoby. Now last year, we can talk about offensive firepower for them, where they had Pascal averaging about 22.9 points per game, 23 points per game. Kyle Lowry was averaging 20. Fred VanVleet was averaging 18. Norman Powell averaged 16. Serge Ibaka averaged 15. OG Anunoby averaged 10 points per game. Just a lot more offensive firepower for them last year compared to this year so far. Now, Pascal did have a drop-off in the playoffs where he only averaged 17 points per game. Now, that, it was his first time leading the team into the playoffs. Fred VanVleet kind of picked up the load. He was averaging 20 during the playoffs last year, but they did lose in the second round, and you expect them to really bounce back this year. But that hasn't happened so far. Pascal is struggling. This team is struggling offensively. Now, if we get into the league stats so far, they are 26th in the league in points per game at 106 points per game. They're 22nd in the league in rebounds per game with 43, 20th in the league with assists per game, and they are average on defense with 110 points per game allowed, 13th in the league. Now, that's defensive stat I talked about. Wasn't that bad. 13th in the league, okay, that's league average, around average. You expect that for a playoff team. They made the playoffs. More than half the teams in the league make the playoffs in the NBA, so that's fine. But 26th in the league with points per game at 106 points per game scored on you every single night is absolutely abysmal. This team cannot play defense. Now, and a way to fix this is to trade Fred VanVleet or Kyle Lowry. They both kind of provide the same things for this team. Kyle Lowry being a bit better on defense, taking charges and things like that. The heart and soul of the Raptors for the past, 5 years since he's became a star. And he is a really important piece of this team, but Fred VanVleet is kind of outperforming him in every single way on the offensive end. And Kyle Lowry just might have to go to to get some defense for this team. Now, Kyle Lowry is still valuable. We saw what he did in the playoffs last year. He was very important. We saw what he did during the finals when they had Kawhi. He was very important. Kyle Lowry has been important to this team for a long time, but this team really needs offense. They need offense really bad. They're sitting at the bottom of the division at 1-5. Brooklyn is 4-4. New York is 4-3. Boston is 5-3. And Philadelphia is 6-1 so far. This team just needs offense. They're without Patrick McCaw, who provides some roll buckets. That doesn't really mean much though. And they lost Serge Ibaka to the Clippers. And they are completely just wetting the bed. That's what I can say. They can't score at all. And they need to figure out something, just something, to get this season like on the roll. I mean, it's horrible so far. You hate to see it. Kyle Lowry is being paid $30 million. Now, I don't really know how you could even that out. You could if a team was willing to take Kyle Lowry and give you back maybe 2 good defensive guys. You still have Pascal Siakam, who needs to pick it up this season. You still have OG Anunoby. You still have Fred VanVleet on your team. You can still play offense. You still have Stanley Johnson. You still have Chris Boucher. You have Aaron Baines this year, Alex Len, Norman Powell. And this team would be a lot better if they were able to get some offense on this team. I think I said defense earlier. I meant offense. Sorry about that. But they just need to get it together and start playing offense. Pascal Siakam needs to start scoring, man. He needs to get back to that 23 points per game he was averaging last year. He needs to start lifting this team. His team will follow him. He's supposed to be the leader. And that's really all I can say. Just get buckets. Get buckets. You know what it is. Stay cool. Stay safe. Have a good one.